Hi everyone, I'm Nendo Kitty-chan, and today we're going to be having a long-awaited view at the Elric brother Nendoroids. Of course, I do have to review them up close and personal as a duo, and as you can see, they have very similar box designs with a Fullmetal cross on the sides and spotlighting some of their poses on the back. Ed is Nendoroid number 788, while Al is Nendoroid number 796. But enough about the boxes, let's get them out of there. So first up out of the box we have Edward in his infamous red cloak, black attire, complete with a brown belt and white gloves, which is very much accurate to what he wears in the anime, right down to the Fullmetal cross decal on the back of his jacket, and additionally adding details like the traction marks on the bottom of his shoes. I do like a simpler, more clean look to my Nendoroids though, so I'm not a big fan of the extra joint in his elbows, so although it does give him more movability without needing to include other arm pieces, I would have preferred more alternate arm pieces just to have that smooth look. I do really love his hair though, it is gorgeously sculpted and the paint job gives just enough dimension to really look like it's tied back. They did also put in a ball joint for his ponytail that I do appreciate, which easily serves to maneuver him in different positions on his stand. Right out of the box, I am so overly impressed already with Al. He looks so stunning as a Nendoroid. It literally looks as if they chipified him and popped him right out of the TV. The way they sculpted his armor and the blue-gray metallic color he's painted really gives him that mechanical look. And although I'm not much for extra jointed figures, it really does work with him and blends into his mechanized look. That being said, he is very movable in his ankles, knees, waist, elbows, and head. Though I do have to point out the most important part that they included on this Nendoroid, and that is Al's blood seal, and I absolutely love that they included a detail like this that directly references the anime, and even though it cannot be seen with his head on, it very much makes the difference to me that it's there. For Ed's next pose, he comes with an alternate arm piece that shows off his Automail arm in the blade form, and you can switch up his faceplate to a more cheeky smile that is ready for a fight. With that, you can pair Al in a similar pose, switching up his hand pieces, always ready to back up his brother. As well, it helps set the scene that you can pose Al upright without his stand, which will always be a plus when taking him out for some Nendography. For Ed's next couple of poses, they should look pretty familiar from the anime. First off, having his hands together with included lightning effect parts to display his use of alchemy, then proceeding on one knee to use that alchemy to build up a wall out of the ground. And I love that they actually include an alternate bottom half for Ed to kneel in this pose instead of adding in knee joints. As for Al, he seems to have a different plan in mind, and that includes one of my favorite accessories that some Nendoroids come with, and those are miniature animals. I absolutely love that Al comes with a couple of kitties to pose him with, one that can even sit inside of his removable hollowed out chest, and the other that can lounge over his armored leg. Of course, he comes with an alternate headpiece as well for this pose that clearly shows he is definitely a cat person. For Al's last pose, you can alternate his very movable body to look like he's running from a potentially dangerous situation or from just a spectator that just called his brother short. Either way, he especially looks worrisome with that alternate headpiece. But speaking of Ed, it looks like he has overheard us, as for his last pose, he comes with a highly exaggerated looking angry expression that very much mimics the type of face he makes in the show, and this is probably one of my favorite poses of his, being so animated with his fists raised in the air, about to kick some butt. Overall, I'm so in love with these Nendoroids, and I'm so glad that Good Smile decided to make them, though as I know it is a bit of an older anime, it does have a lot of fans like myself that had been wanting more figures in general from this series, so when they announced Nendoroids, I was very much ecstatic. From Ed's Automail blade arm to his lusciously sculpted golden hair, these Nendoroids do not lack in details, including significant symbols like the Fullmetal cross on Al's arm to the blood seal on the inner part of his neck. I love that they included these details as well as other accessories that directly link back to the anime. I especially love Ed's hilarious angry faceplate, as it is a common joke in the show for him to make that face. Now, although having a bit of a bias for Ed, I do love Al's Nendoroid much more than I thought I would, honestly. His Nendoroid is just so innovative with his movement, his sculpt, and being able to open up his armor. He is truly a unique Nendoroid that I'm lucky to have in my collection. If I did have to add one thing though, it would be a miniature pocket watch for Ed, because we must never forget October 3rd. So that is all for my Elric Brothers Nendoroid review. I hope you enjoyed, and if you did, don't forget to like and subscribe if you haven't already. I try to put out new videos every week, and if you'd like to follow me on a more regular basis, I do have Instagram, Facebook, and Twitter under the same name here. Otherwise, don't forget to smile, and I'll see you next time.